Good evening. Investigators with the National Transportation Safety Board are in our city investigating a fatal plane crash. The pilot was pronounced dead on the scene. He was flying in from High River, dropping off country singer George Canyon for a charity concert here in the border city. Tonight, we sit down with the homeowner and a neighbor who are trying to comprehend what exactly happened yesterday. Anna Knotveit has more.
I was shocked when I first got the text messages and the phone calls. We were in Hillmont playing hockey at the time, so pretty shocked.
Gladys Newlove Hyde didn't want to go on camera when thinking about the horrific crash that happened just steps from her front door. Debris from a single-engine plane that crashed into the side of her home littered her yard. She and her family were not home at the time, but her 16-year-old son was.
He thought that vandals had entered the house because everything that was on that wall and on the shelves fell, and his room is right beneath.
She said that her son ran outside only to see the plane on fire.
He took shovels, and I believe the neighbors and him were attempting to extinguish the fire. Joanna Segberg lives just down the road from the scene. She said she saw the crash from her living room window.
A fiery streak that from the explosion it went down, and then just before you get to the next bunch of trees there was actually the last place the last explosion went.
She says she didn't hear anything, but noticed the bright explosion above the tree line and didn't know what it was.
I at first kept trying to, what was it? Could it have been the well that's over in that direction that exploded? That does happen. A pipeline could have caused a streak of flames, but what the next explosion would have been was beyond me because it was lower to the ground.
The Transportation Safety Board of Canada is in town to investigate. Right now, they say it's too early to determine a cause.
Today is just the beginning of our investigation, and we call it the field phase. And at this part of the investigation, we're dedicated to collecting what we call perishable information, or the information that can change rapidly over time.
He says pieces of the aircraft will be sent to Edmonton for further examination. Now, homeowners say the accident could have been so much worse. They aren't concerned with the damage to their home, but are saddened by the loss of life in their backyard.
The house doesn't matter to us, but the damage, of course, for the pilot and for his family is what's really affected us. So just the fact that a tragedy happened at all, and then right here, has been disturbing for my family.
Investigators plan to have everything cleaned up by tomorrow. Anna Knotveit, Newcap News.
As we mentioned earlier, country singer George Canyon and his road manager were passengers on that very same airplane. They were dropped off at the Lloydminster airport for a charity gig here in the border city. Newcap News caught up with Canyon's management team this afternoon. Jim Cressman says the country singer is taking the news hard, as the pilot, Bill Loves, is well known to him.
He's devastated. The pilot was a friend of his. The only reason he didn't cancel his engagement last night with the Huron Carol was because, A, it's for a charity, and B, George is the show must go on kind of guy, and so no matter what the circumstances, he doesn't believe in letting his fans down. It's just so sad that this pilot and his family have to endure this going into the Christmas season. Enduring it any time would be rough, but this will always be a tough reminder for them, I'm sure.
And moving on to other news today, the Lloydminster Bobcats hit the ice at the Civic Centre this afternoon, but it wasn't for a game. Dozens of little fans had the chance to skate with the team in their first annual Christmas Skate. As Nira Manisa reports, it wasn't clear who was more excited for the skate, the young kids or the players.
Decked out in their jerseys and Santa Claus hats, the Lloydminster Bobcats were looking to spend a couple of hours skating with their smallest of fans. The family affair brought in dozens of kids and parents who are happy to get on the ice with their own future hockey stars.
She keeps telling me she wants to be a hockey player, so I told her she has to learn to skate first, so we're getting her on skates.
When the kids weren't skating with the players or the team mascot, they were able to visit with Santa Claus and earn themselves a nice little treat. first time the Bobcats have done a Christmas skate like this, and head coach Gary Van Haraway says he's happy with the outcome.
We thought it would just be a great opportunity. We bounced it off the kids, and they thought they'd love to jump in and do it. And yeah, it's turned out tremendous. This is what this season's all about right now.
We had a Bobcat skate, but it was after a loss, which, you know, isn't always the best. So this is kind of on free terms. Everyone's happy. It's Christmas, and we're dancing, we're listening to music.
As for these kids, they're happy to get on the ice and meet their favorite players.
Mine is number 5, Austin. Number 5, Austin. Number 5, Austin.
Austin? Why is Austin your guys' all three of you guys' favorites? Why is that?
I don't know. Because he's good. Because he's good.
Just to go skating, because I'm not in hockey, so I just want to go whenever I can.
And who knows, these young kids may grow up to sport the orange and black one day.
Nolan's going to be a future Bobcat, aren't you?
Yeah.
You going to play for the Bobcats?
Yeah.
As for the players, well, they had this message for their fans.
And to all out of sight. Happy Christmas to all and to all the good.
Nara Manisa, Newcap Sports.